Hey YouTube, welcome back to 2022 Scrabble Players Championship coverage. We're almost done. 4 more videos of this, and I can start making non-game analysis content. Um, so today I'm going to be bringing you game 26, 27 of 31, and game 26 is against Barry Keith. There's actually a video on YouTube, like a mini documentary on Barry from like 20 or more years ago. So he's been in the scene for a really long time. He's been a very strong player. He's a very humble guy. He's always saying how he loves playing such strong opposition, and he's very peculiar Scrabble player as well. For I think I've never seen this before, but this is the way that he puts down bingos or his plays in general. Just show you a little clip here from the live coverage of the event. This was 2 rounds prior to the round that I was playing Barry. But look as he takes each tile that he's going to play, and just like it's just so, I don't know. It's really fun the way that he plays his bingos, especially. Um, oh, it's not his turn yet, but with this bingo rack, there, takes all of the letters and then cheek 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 cheek. It's really like sometimes he does it even faster than this. Um, and yeah, here he urinates on his opponent. Anyways, just a little tidbit there. I really like that. I like when people do things that other people don't do, because I mean Scrabble is also a place where you can be yourself and um, be artistic in whatever ways you want to be creative, I guess. So this was the situation this round. I was 14 and 11. I had just beaten Mike Barron, and Barry had just lost 2 in a row. He was doing really well in the first half of the tournament, and he's still doing pretty well. He's gained 31 rating points, where I'm sort of not doing so well. I've lost 8 rating, but I'm still in contention to finish in the money at least. Um, but nothing better than that. So yeah, that was the situation. And I had never played Barry before, so I was also excited to play someone new who'd been doing pretty well. So Barry gave me his opening rack here. Um, yeah, and I guess he wondered what he should do here. It seems like playing HOW is pretty good. If he passes and I give him a T or a D, he gets Who Done It, which is pretty cool. Very nice word. But yeah, he decides to play Who. Actually, I don't remember if he played vertically or horizontally. I should probably go back to the. Actually, I'm gonna go to C. I'm gonna go to C. This might cause the stream to lag a little bit. I'm gonna go see the picture. I should have that ready. I should go see the picture of the game. I say the stream, but I mean the recording. But I should, yeah, I'm just gonna go check to see, because some people open vertically, and I don't actually really notice all that much when someone opens vertically versus horizontally. I know certain players that just always do it, so it's easy to remember. Then I've played them a lot, but certain other players, yeah, it wouldn't be till like later in the game that I would realize whether or not the play was vertical. So sorry for the slight lag there, but we'll get through it. I'm just looking for this game. Where are we? Not that, not that, not that, not that. There it is. Yeah, he did open vertically. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. All that to determine such a such an insignificant thing, but it's not insignificant. So this was my opening rack, and I just played Come and Whom. Normally I would hesitate to play this because it makes an S hook that I don't have. Whom takes a P as well. And especially this sort of move where putting the C, like C 3-letter or 4-letter words that take S hooks are very hard to block because you can't overlap them. So this is sort of a committal play. I mean, obviously it's possible that some play through the W or the H will happen, and this S hook will become not as important. But yeah, I could consider something just like mun, or like, yeah, some of these other options. But I decided to just go for it again. Like, I knew that I wasn't winning the tournament, so I didn't want to play ultra trying to win, as like just racking my brain every turn trying to take every like percentage point of winning chances, and like just play my usual non-committal game, I guess. And here Barry makes a nice find of scandium for 66. The only other bingo is humanoid, and yeah, scandium is the better bingo, scores more, and the triple it opens up is not as disastrous, and it actually opens up two triples, so Barry might be able to use one of them next turn if I take the other. So scandium comes down. That was a really nice find, and of course he played the bingo in the way that I showed him on camera, which was very nice. And it gives me a lucky break with my J and X draw, so I get to play Jumar for 66 and tie the game up. Next, Barry plays Koi, 27, and I draw to NTX. I draw SATE, which is really nice. I did have a bingo on this rack, Sextant, but there was no spot for it, as whom does not take an S. And I was hoping he'd give me a spot, but to no avail. And I just played tax, which I could see myself playing something else here, because tax just gives back a huge overlapping potential spot. Like if he has QAT, that's the worst case scenario. That would score 56. But just easy plays here will fit, and I'm also blocking the best S hook on the board of Ska. So yeah, I did consider just keeping an extra T with wax, but I felt like the drop in value of the leave was big enough that I don't really need to commit myself to bingoing next turn. Though it is nice to make a play that allows me to bingo more. And as you see, even with the better leave of ENST, my bingo chances next turn are actually lower with tax, just because I'm blocking rather than opening. And XU, I think it just doesn't score enough to justify a slight increase in bingo chances with AENSTT, which isn't actually that great of a leave. Lots of draws are bad with that leave. So yeah, I just decided to play tax. I could see myself playing wax though. And here, Barry played realize for 65 points, and now he takes the lead. And to my TENS, I drew DRY, and I thought a decent amount here about potential bingos, but couldn't find anything, and I ended up playing redies. This looked kind of weird until you pronounce the word redies. It kind of looks like red yes, but this looks right. I open an E and an R to play through potentially, as I have a pretty big deficit here. It's good to give myself bingo chances, and I keep NST, which is quite nice. And here Barry just plays OI for 22, which gives me a great spot for my PHT. So 38 points for PHT. I'm still not bingoing, but EGNS does have some potential as well. So PHT comes down, and Barry continues with Riff 31, so he's keeping the scoring pressure, but I've actually almost tied the game up in my last 2 plays. So I was happy he didn't bingo on this turn of Riff, because OI sort of signals to me that he has a decent amount of bingo tiles. So Riff comes down, and I draw into this rack, where I get to play a Strange for 72. That's the best bingo, despite it being a little bit open. Opening this lane, these triples, it scores just way more than the competition, so it's got to be right. Maybe we could see, I think the M's are gone, right? No estrangements, sadly. And Lestrange is only a word in Harry Potter. And here, Barry actually plays Leapt for 9. So he seems to be having some trouble with fouls, which is kind of weird because he did play OI and then RIF. So that I must have been his only other vowel. And maybe I could kind of assume that he has the blank with this play. I didn't think of that in game though. But yeah, here I draw into an OK rack, and I'm able to play full for 37. It's possible that playing feel is better, just because of how many E's are left, since it's getting close to late in the game. So I will give it a simulation just to see. It does seem quite close. The C and the G really don't go well together, especially with another E. Also with another O, but it's both pretty bad. So I can see why the plays are flip-flopping. Quackle can't decide which one is worse or which one is better for my leave. It does seem like after feel I'm bingoing a bit more. Okay. That's interesting. And opponent next turn, there's no way that I'm giving back more. Yeah, I think that just has to... Okay, I think it's just the fact that I haven't been simming for that long. Yeah, so they seem really, really similar in terms of value. So yeah, feel might be okay here. But I played full. And Barry makes a really nice play here of Quasar for 50 to the AR. That's not an easy play to spot. It's a really nice way to keep himself in the game. And I draw into this rack, and again I wonder if I have a bingo, and I just couldn't find anything. Look through from the W, the H, all these stuff, and all this stuff, and like starting with a vowel, I just couldn't find anything. And indeed, there is nothing. That's a cool play. Slagged. But I decided to just play GI and keep EGLO blank, which is actually pretty good. This is not... I did consider playing epilogue, I think, but there's no real need to open things. I'd much rather Barry play through here and open something for me than the other way around, because if I open something and he hits me with the bingo, I'm potentially in trouble. Whereas forcing him to open, maybe even with the bingo, pretty much all the bingos here are going to go to the right side of the board, and that'll give me a lot of room to play. So I did draw the blank, and I did also say that I had a C. So where did that C go? Oh, okay. I didn't have two G's. I had a G and a C. All right, kind of the same situation though. It's funny how that works. But yeah, I played GI here, which makes a lot more sense. Not keeping a G on my rack, which I don't like to do. And yeah, just trying to maybe bingo next turn. If I bingo next turn this way, the only thing that'll really threaten me is a triple. So I'm okay with it. Whereas if he bingos, it's pretty bad because I can either score or bingo through his bingo. So that's the sort of board control that you hear about. And here Barry just plays Vo for 22, I think. Yeah. He has 310, then I have 325, and here I draw to Cole's IY blank, or IY, which doesn't actually look good at first glance, but I had a really nice fit here of Epic Coddle, um, which is probably better than Choicely. Again, I was talking about how triple triples might happen, and that's the thing that's threatening me the most. Although here, I wonder if taking 12 fewer points to not open a triple triple is worth doing, since there's still some play on this board, some ways to score, and bingo and come back. I think I'm okay with my choice of taking the points rather than my choice of Choicely, which I actually didn't see, I don't think, in the position. Did I see it? I don't think I saw it. All right, also last turn, I wondered about whether epilogic was a word. So epilogue with an IC, and I didn't like it at all. So I didn't play it. Luckily, I was correct, and it wasn't a word. So yeah, epicoddle, I think, is right, even though it does give back triple triple possibilities. And here Barry plays Dele for 18. I don't actually know what his leave was, so let's just leave it there. Oops. He could have played, oh, interesting. Could have played DIE. Worth noting that Lepta was a potential hook. Now it's a lot harder to hit. You can still, I guess, end with an S here. Yeah, so Epicotto comes down, and I draw incredibly well, and I'm able to play Strobing to just seal the deal here. Otherwise, it might have been interesting. There was some potential for Barry to come back. But yeah, that two bingos in a row just ended the game on the spot. So, yeah. What happened here? He played Drek for 21. Where? Drek. No idea where he played that. I'm pretty bad at play finding. Where's the K then? The K is already on the board. Oh. Oh, he didn't play that. He played Dree. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. How could he play Drek? Did I mess something up? So he played Dree for 21. There you go. And here, I started to think a lot because there was something, I think something was lurking. Yeah, lots of bingos were lurking here. If I enter all of the unseen letters to me, you'll get a little taste of that. But yeah, overlit plays in both spots. Interval plays only here. Aileron plays in both spots. But elation only plays here. So the more I looked at it, and inertial, and yeah, that's all that jazz. The more I looked at it, the more I felt like I should probably block this area, if I could, and even if he bingos, that's okay. So I decided that I didn't want him to bingo out, of course. So I played nub for 11 just to block all this stuff, and I'm pretty confident that's the right play. Blocks a lot of unique bingos that he can have, as we saw, inertial, interval, elation, and does allow him still to bingo in other spots. But I also noticed that if he did bingo next turn after this play, there was a 1 in 3 chance that the last tile in the bag was a Z, because none of the bingos that I saw contain a Z. And also, if he bingos without the V, like if he plays aileron, for example, he could also draw the V. And I started looking for spots to play either of those letters if it was the last letter in the bag and that was the only letter you had. And I only saw that after aileron he would get nav, and the Z didn't seem to have more than one home either. I don't think it had a single home, actually. So I realized that it was actually somewhat likely that even if he did have a bingo, that I would be able to stick him with a letter, and that's actually exactly what happened. Here he plays aileron for 69, which gives back a Z spot, but he draws the Z, and that's his only spot. So I start sticking him. So I have to make a play that blocks Zag, and then I'm home free. So I started with tag. My duplicate T didn't seem to have that much value here. Now, if I generate choices, there is no choice. So Barry now has to pass, and he's actually Z stuck here. I'm not going to run Quackle because Quackle is very unreliable in these situations, but if you're able to find a better sequence of plays that maximize my score over the rest of the moves, feel free to let me know. I think I might have found something better than what I did. But here, to get rid of my V, I decided to I scored 47 with 4 letters, which was pretty good in 2 turns, and still Barry has to pass. And here I played yen, and then he passes again, and then I play oot for 9, and I get 20 from Barry and end up scoring 569 points to 418, and 569 might have been my high score of the tournament. All thanks to Z sticking my opponent, which doesn't happen that often. Usually you'll have your opponent Q stuck or V stuck, maybe C stuck sometimes, but the Z is a lot rarer. That's probably a number of reasons. Often there's just ZA spots on more than one part of the board, and maybe something to do with it being less likely that the Z is the last tile in the bag, because maybe it hasn't been exchanged. I don't know. Interesting to think about, but yeah, that was the game. 569 to 418, and I'm gonna quickly jump to round 27, and that game is against none other than Kevin Fraley. Let me just save this. So Kevin Fraley, I think we hadn't yet met in this tournament, but we met twice in the Word Cup, and we each gave each other a loss and a victory. Here Kevin was first, and this game, well, I'll just show you what happened this game, and you'll take it as what it is. So this game, he exchanges 6. I open with Burfy. I think about playing Fubar for a couple more, but decide it's not worth keeping the worse IR and opening the double letter scores versus keeping AR and keeping things closed. And here, Kevin plays Electros. I follow up with Ribbons. Is that how I played it? I don't remember where I played it. We'll see, I guess, next turn. Ribbons. He plays Gleek. And here I play Unfriend through the I, which was a big mistake. I had Inficund for 83. Yeah, I remember this. This is the only other bingo, but Inficund, much harder find, was 83 points. So this was a bad bingo miss. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, we're back. So really bad miss here, but funnily enough, Unfriend really does something crazy to the board. It makes it very difficult to do like anything if you look at this structure. But I have to be sure that this is where I played Ribbons. I'm not sure yet. I might have to go back, but I saw that potentially Unfriendlier could come down at some point, which would have been really cool. But here, Kevin sees that he's down. He obviously plays downward and tries to open the board. Plays Navy. I play righty, keeping AH. And I'm feeling really good here. Just trying to keep things contained. But I gave him a spot to play Phenom for 42. So he's clawing his way back in. And here I just play OH. I consider playing HAP, but I determined that the AEIST leave is just so much better through these 3 tiles, this NOM, that I should just play O and take the 4-point sacrifice and give myself a better chance of trying to seal the deal next turn with the bingo. Quackle so far disagrees with this, saying that that I'm bingoing more after Hap. There's no way. Yeah, it's Quackle is smoking something. I should let it run a little bit longer. So far, oh, okay. Still, I don't get it. AEIST versus EIOST, and it's telling me that EIOST is better. That is very interesting. I guess the double O's just work better. Like I get like wooliest and gooniest. Is that possible? That's crazy. I never expected that. So I guess I should have played Hap. Here doesn't really matter because Kevin plays Restroom, and I actually get a bingo here of Tastier. Strite was also available. So I'm maintaining my nice lead here. Kevin gets rid of the Q, and here's where I play Owie. I think that's where I played Ribbons. So here I play Owie just to score and block this R, and I'm feeling really comfortable here. But Kevin gets to play Myope for 35, staying within striking distance. And this was the position that killed me. The unseen pool is horrendous. There are way too many A's and just a bunch of junk. The problem is I have all 1-point tiles, so my lead isn't actually much of a lead at all, so I can't score. So in this position, oh, I could just do that. Did I even see that? But maybe not. In this position, my considerations were as follows. Kevin could have the X or the Z, or even the J sometimes, I guess, and hit me really hard at some point on the 15 row. I don't want that to happen. There's an X spot here, a Z spot here, but I lose immediately pretty much if a play here occurs. And I played a very, very, very bad LIEU for 7 points to rid the game of this big threat. This is a problem. I should just play LEIU here, I think. That was my other consideration. I just didn't like leaving this spot open for the rest of the game, even without a Z play. If he has like a high scoring play here, it could be very dangerous. But I should definitely take the extra points. I really don't know what I was thinking. Well, I do know what I was thinking, but I'm not even going to simulate this position. I'm almost certain that this was a mistake because Kevin just played Zoa here for 48. And what do I have now? It's way likelier that he's going to have a play like Zoa than to have a huge play here that ends the game. And now he's up 13 points, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to do now. I decided to play OD for 20 points just to try and maintain my lead. But again, this X spot is lurking, and now I'm clearly in trouble. But if I play someone like Guiro, I'm in way more trouble. I'm opening, I guess, 2 triple spots. Maybe I can consider being that desperate. I'm opening the EGAD hook, and I'm opening the huge O column spot. And yeah, the other, I don't know, maybe Gid is actually okay here, but I could also just lose to like Vex. But I decided to just play OD. I should probably play more tiles here to try and draw some high scoring tile. But I sort of caved in on myself here. Kevin played Taj. And I think I started to think about, yeah, I remember what happened here. This is my rack. I have like nowhere to score anything, and I'm down 19 points with 7 in the bag. I'm losing pretty much any time that I don't draw something huge here. I just don't have any of the tiles that I need to score. This X spot is still there. And I decided to play Tick for 6 points, thinking that I'm desperate enough that I need to go for a 9-letter word. And that 9-letter word is guarantor to the OR. Saw that there were 3 A's and 2 N's unseen, and was hoping to draw one of them. But I really just totally lost the plot this game. And Kevin plays calved. He doesn't have the X. I draw the X, but it's not good enough because I haven't been scoring any points the last few turns. And yeah, I tried to make some crazy endgame swindle happen here. I was running low on time, but I decided to play racks for 35 here to try and just score a lot with like GAT or GAN and nuts, but yeah, it was pretty much over. There was nothing winning, so I decided to just try something. Try the only way to victory I saw is if you just made a really weak play here. But what play doesn't win here? I don't really know. The obvious play of way just wins, so yeah, who knows? But here I played nut instead of nug. And he played new. Oh, sorry, no. Here I played Gan first. And here he's supposed to still play new. And then I played nut, and the game ended with Kevin winning by 9 points. What a brutal, like, comeback by Kevin. Just caught me in a tactical position where I just didn't have the letters to score and didn't make the right decisions to maintain my lead. And yeah, he ended up drawing the Z, the X, and the J, which are really key there, and winning the game. But I'm sure I screwed up. I don't even want to analyze this game. I was pretty disgusted with myself, to be honest. I'll maybe analyze it later, but I had such a lead for the entirety of the game. And I also had a bad miss of infecund, which also soured things. But yeah, what can I say? It was a really nice comeback by Kevin and really rough loss for me. And after this, my record is 15 and 12, so I can still win the next 5 games and do decently on the scoreboard, but didn't want to lose this one for sure, and I shouldn't have. So yeah, thanks for watching. 4 more games to show, and then the extra round 20 game that I've just recorded. So I'm excited to bring you guys that, and I'll see you next time.